Hey yo, what's up? What's up? What's the deal? I want to talk about something kind of interesting. And I mean, I think it's interesting. I was thinking about the kind of stuff that we go through as fathers, um, and like all the the stresses and all that. Speaking of one that's work messaging me right now. Okay, so as a father, I think a lot of us would talk about, and just in general in this particular realm, right? I just clocked off of work. I think one of the things that we don't talk about is our fears. As fathers, I don't think we talk about them. I'm not sure why. I think we're scared of it, right? Let me get to mine, and then let's see. I want to see how you feel about it. So, for me, I fears from just life kind of come into play with me being a father. They just never left, right? So, for example, I never let myself get glued to something, like, ever. You know what I mean? It's not something that I like to do. I don't like to let myself get glued to anything. Anything can go at the drop of a dime. Something can change. Somebody can not like you anymore. Somebody can feel some type of way, leave you. And my fear as a father, right, comes from being a husband as well, where I had to learn that my wife is not somebody that's just gonna up and leave my life and walk out of my life for no reason, right? Now, having a person live with you and love you and care about you, that's work, right? You have to work with each other. You have to pour into each other, and when you have kids, you can't do that. That brings me into another fear, right? Other than people leaving, if you can't pour into somebody, how do they know you love them, right? How do they know you care about them? You get what I'm saying? So it's tough, right? My wife even told me, she was like, we haven't been able to pour into each other. And I think realistically, this is the time that I've learned, honestly, that setting a good foundation is key. What I mean by that is I can't always remember all of my wife's favorite this, favorite that. We don't have kids that are 12, 13, 14 and all that kind of stuff, right? We don't have that. We model ourselves after, like, if you guys ever heard of a guy, he's an actor, comedian, creative. His name is Kev on Stage. That's his stage name, right? We model ourselves, not model ourselves. We look to their relationship for it with guidance. You know what I mean? Like, for guidance. Like, I wonder what they would do. We look to that chick Angel and Marcus was another. She's an actress, creator, social media. Like, she's a singer, all kind of everything. I don't think I think she hasn't done, honestly. She didn't did everything. But we look at these people, and I'm sure y'all got people that y'all do the same thing too, right? We look to these people for, because we look at them as, solid relationships, good people, whatever, right? And we see kind of what they do. And I've learned that in situations like this, this is where all that work you put in before you had kids, this is when all of that comes and shows, hopefully not its ugly head, right? Hopefully it shows that you put in that work, And a lot of the stuff that we did back in the day, whatever arguments we had, with anything that happened, it laid groundwork. It laid groundwork for the kind of stuff that, the kind of things we're experiencing now, which is we could feel distant from each other, right? Because we're not able to pour into each other as much as we want to. But there's this foundation that's so strong. And I think the foundation is stronger than anything. Like, meaning that's the most important part from what I'm noticing. So I say that to say, and I'm gonna continue on with my different fears, but I say that to say this. When you guys meet somebody and that you see yourself being with that person forever, right? I think you should really start laying down the foundation. You know what I mean? Lay down the foundation and really work on the things that are going to make that relationship strong. You know what I mean? Trust, a bunch of stuff. Trust, like learn that person's love language. I don't believe in like all the extra love languages that they got online and all that. I don't agree with those. Like, in my opinion, that's not my thing, right? I'm more into you tell me what you like. I don't love language. I don't subscribe to that. I learn you. There might not be a category for your love language. You know what I mean? Them categories is kind of limited, right? Like, could be limited. So I'm trying to learn you. And it will take me forever to learn you all the way. And I'm gonna be honest, it takes a long time for some people to understand that. And so to put that into perspective, here we are. I've been with my wife. We've been together since 2009, right? And we've been together since then, right? Not married since then, but together since then. So we know a lot about each other. But you know what's crazy? The person that I knew back then ain't the same person. She's not the same person. I'm not the same person. I'm not the same person. I spent years getting to know somebody who doesn't exist anymore. She literally is not here anymore. You feel me? So, like I said, when you're in this game, you got to play it the way it's supposed to be played. You might not think you should do this. You might not think you should have to do this and all that. But you got to get to know each other. You got to spend time with each other. You have to lay the foundation. My fear is that everything crumbles. My fear when I go to work is, what would I do if I didn't have this job? How will we eat? What do we do? Yeah, my wife has a job, right? But on my shoulders every day is provide. And if you don't provide, you're a failure, right? Your in-laws, what are they gonna think, right? What is her father gonna think? The person you basically that gave her to you, right? What is that person gonna think? There's so many things that go through my mind as a husband, right? Much less as a father. Like, how do I maintain a connection with my son? How do I make my son understand that I love him no matter what? What do I do? Well, the fear of like not being able, like, how do you get your son to understand you love him enough? That comes from you being a kid and not hearing it enough yourself, right? Or feeling like your parents don't love you, or they're not proud of you, or you're a liability, right? Or you know, they're not proud of you. They're not happy to, like, if you don't feel like a joy to be around as a kid, then as a kid around your parents, then who do you feel like you should be around? Who do you feel like a joy to be around? You know what I mean? And these are all things that a lot of these are fears that came about for me, and they carried over into marriage, carried over into fatherhood, right? And it's tough to live with them. Yeah, gotta go to therapy and get it right. I'm just letting you know. I'm having a candid conversation with you. I know how to fix it. I'm just having a candid conversation with you about, like, how this goes. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. But yeah, I'm working on that, right? And my wife, for sure, my wife has fears too. You know, it's not about her, but you get what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm not the only one with these fears, you know? But it's tough, man. This is the life we live. This is what I have, you know? I created this family with my wife. We created this life. I think we're doing really well, but it's not without constant fear. It's not without me second guessing myself. It's not without me wondering, is this the mistake that's going to cost me my job, right? If I'm seeing all these relationships, people are married, right? And then all of a sudden, the husband loses his job and somehow everything crumbles, right? And I was talking to somebody, and they told me, they said, well, one of the things that the women are saying is that when men lose their jobs, they become insufferable and hard to deal with, and that's how they lose their. And I've known plenty of married guys that have lost their job, right? And that's not been the case. But I also know that when you here, I'm gonna put you up on game, right? When you, depending on the woman you're with, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, your wives or you as women from a can of paint. I don't know, right? As a man, first thing you got to do is understand you really don't know women. You think you do, but you don't know women. We don't know. We just wish we did, right? With women and men, right? You know what you like out of them. Like you have a specific thing that's you know, attractive to you. That's something you need as a man, as a woman, right? You got there's a certain thing that they have going on. One of the things women have about men is being a provider. And being a provider isn't just like, this is just what it needs to happen. Sometimes it's like, unfortunately, sometimes it's the main part of the relationship. Sometimes it's the main part of the relationship, and nobody wants to talk about that. Some of you guys are married to women that they're kind of only with you because you can support them financially, right? Because maybe you did a whole bunch of BS and it is what it is, or I don't know, right? But or maybe that's just where the relationship ended up at, and that may be her intentions from the beginning. Can't call it. I might spoil it, but nonetheless, this is where we're at. That's the case, right? A lot of people are, and then also you have to understand that, you know, maybe you being a provider is 75% of the things she needs from you, and now 75% of that is gone. You probably have a lot to offer somebody. Maybe that's just not for her. Maybe the 75% got to be you know what I'm saying, providing. Also, you know, when we talk about providing, you got to want to provide too. It's a lot of people I've seen that don't want to provide, right? They don't really, it's not what they want. And that's kind of crazy. But let's be honest, that's the reality, and that's what people are doing. You know? So, again, I'm throwing that out there just to let you know that that's a reality. And some women, just like, if you ain't got money, they're not trying to, right? And I will tell you, if that's the case, then maybe it's good that you figure that out now and you realize that might not be the person you need to be with for the rest of your life. Because a woman that will leave you because you don't have money will not take care of you if you're sick, for sure. A man that will leave you because you don't have the booty the size of whatever, or the body like this or whatever, will not take care of you when you're sick. And that's plain blank period. Like that, them two don't go together. Unconditional love is just that, unconditional, bro. Like my wife, oh man, it is what it is. Like what we built, like this, it's us forever. Like that's it. So again, you know, you step out in your marriage and stuff like that, people gonna play it how it go. They're gonna play it how it go. It's gonna go the way it's gonna go. You might lose out on somebody doing that you thought you had a bulletproof relationship with. You do, but cheating does so much to a relationship. It can do so much to a relationship, right? These are all fears, right? You fear losing your wife. You fear losing the trust of your children. You fear all that. And again, this video is not for people that have the answers to everything. This video is not for people who can't watch a video with somebody being vulnerable, another man being vulnerable. If you can't do that, don't watch the video. This video is not for, like, this video is for leaders. This video is for real men. This video is not for men that cannot process vulnerability. If you can't do that, you probably shouldn't be married. Or go find you one of them girls that cannot see no weak man at all. You get weak for 20 minutes on Thursday, it's over. Get you one of them girls. Weak is a state of mind, right? Weak is a state of mind. You're only a weak person if that is your permanent state of mind. You're not a weak person if you had a 20-minute breakdown and you decided you're going to step it up. Nah, this video ain't for nobody that has an issue admitting to any of that. We're not this channel ain't for nobody like that, right? At all. This channel is for people who are leaders, people that are pioneers, people that are critical thinkers. people that move against the wave, right? Create their own wave. It's for those people, right? We're not. That's that. But yeah, man, y'all list any vulnerabilities, any fears, anything like that. I got a fear I'm gonna lose, and then you lose everything with it. There's so many fears I have, right? And I'm not saying mine are unique, man. Mine might be the same fears you have. Let me know in the comment section. I'm gonna holler at you, man.